So I'm going to show you a couple ways to find and filter water. So we've been walking for a while and we started to look for dense green vegetation. So when you're walking, if you're heading downhill, it's usually just a matter of time till you find some kind of creek, some kind of stream. Now this is, obviously man-manipulated, man-influenced. It's a natural spring, but obviously there's some concrete here. What we're going to do is filter water at the source. Now when it comes to water, you got to keep a few things in mind. How you're going to purify or filter, or both. How you're going to collect the water, and how you're going to transfer the water. So if I'm down here and I have just a life straw, for example, I need to put the straw in the water and drink directly out of that. That can work, but it's not ideal. So instead of doing that, what I would do is just fill a jug with the water. And this water I would consider contaminated. So you have to purify that water. And one way is to take this water back to the camp. This is gray water. You don't want to drink it, but you could use it for bathing as long as it doesn't go in your mouth, washing clothes, etc. Then you would drain the water into some kind of vessel, and you would drink the water using the life straw at the vessel. Another way is to purify the water at the source. So to do that, I would use this water filter and try to keep these off the ground, of course. Also, it's important, since these tubes both look identical, make sure you label in and out. You don't want to cross-contaminate. Always keep the inside for the fresh water and the outside for the polluted water. So what we would do on this one is, once we set it up, and you can use this to feed right into a camelback. So this is an example of camelback. You could put it here, or you could just put it right into the straw, and now you're pumping clean water into your camelback. So now you have purified water that you can drink out of, that you can bring back to the camp. And I also recommend having powdered meal replacements. So keep these in my car, keep these in my hiking kit. All I need is water, and this is healthier than most of the crap snacks I'm going to eat, because it's unlikely I'm going to carry barley grass, wheatgrass, alfalfa grass, organic spinach, spirulina, antioxidants, digestive blends with my food kit. So this definitely is a supplement. It's a pretty good amount of calories. You can find them with more or less, but it does two things. It replenishes most of the deficiency in minerals, in vitamins and nutrients that you're going to get when you're just eating canned food and MREs, etc. like that. Whether you're in an emergency situation or just camping, you're not going to get enough important macronutrients, most likely. This helps fill in the gap. The other thing is, almost every American, the vast majority of Americans are dehydrated. And many Americans confuse hunger for thirst. Their body's thirsty, but they just recognize that as hunger. They're perpetually dehydrated. So when you have meal replacements in the form of liquid, not only do you have the benefits of macronutrients and ease of transportation because it weighs less, it's easy to pack, and you could theoretically seal one of these in a Mylar bag with an oxygen remover and get triple the shelf life of one of these, but it forces you to drink more liquid. It reminds you that you need to drink more liquid, and you always need to drink more liquid, just in general. Add caffeine, alcohol, sounds like more of a camping trip than an SHTF situation, but you're going to probably expedite your dehydration. Not to mention you might be more physically active than you are normally used to. You might be out looking for water and food sources and other resources. You're going through water even faster than you normally would when you're in an office. So I always have one of these, and I always have some kind of meal replacement. Not necessarily recommending these for anybody. These are the ones that I like. Try your own. But emphasize the ones that have a lot of vegetables, antioxidants, and digestive enzymes, because eating these prepackaged foods, that's going to wreak havoc on your digestive system, trust me. Now, when you're filtering the water, something like this has its own filter. So the way this works is you can either connect it that way, or just pop it off, connect it like that. I prefer keeping this side in, it stays locked in better. And then, you know, this is the outside. This is the side you don't want to contaminate. And from here, you know, I could pop this off. This is my vessel perhaps, because I can carry it. So, you know, I would take this out. Sometimes this even fits right in on some of these camelbacks. Look at that, awesome. So what I do is just go down to the water source and I put this in. It floats so it doesn't get too much sediment. It has a pre-filter. And then I pump the water from the contaminated source into my camelback. So another option, fill this with filtered water, filtered and purified water. So now I can bring this back to camp. I don't have to mess with iodine tablets, water purification tablets, bleach, sodium hypochlorite. I can just drink out of this. Make sure you keep this separate. It's a good idea to have a bunch of these. Label this potable and never contaminate it. If you contaminate it, it's ruined. From then on, it's only for gray water. So label this something that you'll remember to not soak up dirty water in that you're gonna filter later. That's fine to have another water jug for that, for gray water. Another thing I can do with my trusty companion, they need water. So while I'm here, while I'm at the spring, top off their water bottles so they can drink. They're probably thirsty. And where's your water bowl, guys? Where's that water bowl? Let's find it. So give these guys some water. They good? Get some water. So these guys, they carry their own water quite literally. And I want to fill up as many of the vessels as I can while I'm down here. Now, how are you going to carry something like this? Because water's heavy. I think it's about 8 pounds per gallon. Could be wrong on that, but you need some kind of transportation. So I have a few options. Obviously, if you're just on foot, you would bring camelbacks if you have that option. Have the dogs bring their water bottles. But check this out. It's just a stupid little wagon that you can carry supplies with long distance. Nothing fancy, but you can carry at least 2 of these 5-gallon jugs of water, which are quite heavy, and carry them over significant distances as long as the ground is not too rugged. If it is something that's pretty rugged, then maybe consider one of these off-road wagons, but you want to have the ability to filter the water, collect the water, transport the water, deliver the water, and obviously store the water. So water filtration is absolutely at the top of the list. Being able to not just store water, because that's going to fail you eventually once you run out, but regenerate water. So, and again, fill up all your bottles while you're here, as many of the vessels as you can, so you can have as much water between trips. Because you don't know if this water source will get compromised, if you won't be able to make it back. Get as much as you can, just like solar energy. ABC, always be charging. With water, always be collecting. So then when you get back to your camp, let's say this is full, now you have potable water. And make sure you label this somehow as potable water. This will fill up. It can even be hung if you have a strong enough 550 cord, but now you have the ability to allow people to drink. Some people won't be able to go out and get their own water, so that's why you need to be mobile. You need to have the ability to help them. Hope that helps.